Hi, my name is Martin. I'm a bonsai grower from Belgium, and in this video I will show you how I prune juniper trees that are still in development. So as an example, I brought up this juniper raft tree. I'm not sure what kind of species or subspecies that it is. It's something with pretty coarse growth. About now, I think I have this tree for about 2 years now, and last year I styled it for the first time, and I also repotted it last spring. The problem with this tree was that it had very leggy growth, so long growth. I will show you a close-up, but basically it had a mix of really long shoots and juvenile foliage as well. This was because the tree wasn't wired or pruned in a very long time, and all the growth was very leggy and soft. So when I wired it last spring, I just made sure that every branch got a lot of sunlight, and in doing so I hoped that the tree would produce denser foliage, and in a lot of parts it did. So I think now I can cut it back, clean it up a little bit, and maybe place some more detailed aluminum wires, because last styling was pretty difficult because the foliage was just so leggy. I couldn't wire the tertiary branches because they were just too soft. So here you can see 3 types of foliage that was on this tree. Last year, almost all of the foliage looked like this. It was a combination of very juvenile foliage, very leggy foliage, with just some small growing tips on the end. This is because of lack of light, and I think also because of some root problems, maybe because it wasn't repotted in a very long time. Then slowly, by wiring the tree and making sure that light could reach every part of the tree, the growing tips got stronger. So you still have the leggy part from previous years here, and then some reasonably strong growing tips at the end. Ideally, you want the whole tree or every branch to look like this, because this is much easier to wire or to create pads with than, well, leggy growth like this, for example. This is super weak and you can't really do anything with it. So this is a close-up of the apex of the largest tree. You can see that this is much denser than the lower branch that I've just shown you. This is what you ideally want to create pads with. I'm not sure if I'm going to cut back a lot of this foliage because I need some back budding in this area, and if you want back budding, it's best to just let it grow. I think by wiring these parts of the tree, I can just keep it healthy, keep a lot of light reaching the inner parts of the tree. In some parts of the tree, the shoots have elongated like this, which is a good sign, obviously. It means that the root system is healthy. I also fertilized it very hard with organic fertilizer that was high in nitrogen. So maybe if I don't need this new growth, I can cut it back a little bit in order to make denser pads. But I think in some areas I have to let some of the shoots elongate because, well, I cut back a lot of foliage in the canopy, the upper part of the tree, so I need to fill it in more, but we'll see. So the first step will be to clean up the tree or clean out the tree. I'm going to remove a lot of the shoots that are growing down. This will create nice flat pads. I will also remove some of the juvenile foliage and just some of the really leggy branches that are too weak. There's no sense or no purpose in keeping those leggy branches or pruning tips because they will die eventually and the stronger growth will take over. The next step will be to check the wiring. I will probably have to add some more detailed wiring to place the pads in a nice shape. And I think that will be everything I will do with this tree for this fall. So I usually don't use scissors for this kind of cleanup work, except if I feel a lot of resistance when I pull the green parts. So this is what I remove, it's very small. But if there's like a bigger branch, you should use scissors, obviously. Like for example, if I place this pad back in position, I use scissors for like this type of growth. And this should be rewired as well because it's too, well, the branch has grown a lot, so it's a bit, the wire is too thin now. You can kind of see I'm going to place it in this position, so everything on this side needs to go, so that you get a really nice flat surface. Something like that. So you can see there's a little branch growing from inside the tree. This is something that I wouldn't cut because it's growing pretty strong, and it's just a nice branch to cut back to if this ever gets too elongated. But crotch growth like this, you can just easily remove. So I'm almost halfway done cleaning up the tree and slightly pruning it. While doing this, I've also checked the wire, see if it bites in any place, and then removing it or reapplying it. Here and there I've also put on some detail wiring, so 1mm. But I think I'm going to wait with detail wiring for next year, next spring maybe, because I've noticed some of the growth is still very young and fragile. So if I would wire the foliage tips right now, I would probably do more damage than do good. So I will just finish cleaning up, lightly pruning it, and here and there touching up the wire a little bit. So I just finished work on this tree. As you can see, I didn't remove a lot of foliage. I removed a bit more up top to encourage some more growth in the lower branches. Almost all the lower branches were left unpruned or unwired just to let them grow out more. There's one tree here in the back that looks pretty weak, or one trunk I should say, because it's one tree. I didn't prune much of it. I will probably just let it grow and let it recover for next year. Here and there I adjusted some of the wire and cleared the pads a bit more, but I didn't do any further detail wiring on it because, well, the growth is still too green and not compact enough to do some really detailed work. So that's something that I will definitely do next year, maybe in late spring or summer. And in the meanwhile, I will just fertilize it heavily now in fall and then back again in spring. In the long run, I will plant it in a bigger pot because right now it's a pretty small pot for such a big tree. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe for more of these kinds of videos. I will be putting out some more videos in the coming months. See you in the next one.